Thank you very much for coming. It's lovely to see you all. I think that being the third night for doing this Dacxi Australia Vision Tour, it is the best night for Queensland, and we are definitely showing up the guys in New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia and Western Australia. They can catch up to you guys. So I'm very proud to say that in the world of Dacxi and Dacxi coin, Queensland has by far got more Dacxi coins in our economy than any other country on the planet. And that's mainly because you guys took a leap of faith at a YouTube, a conversation over a coffee, attending a dinner, me doing some scribbles on a whiteboard and getting your belief and knowledge about cryptocurrency to a point where you made a step forward. Now I hope that that step forward was something that you were very happy with doing at the time and you weren't worried. Who was worried about their first cryptocurrency purchase? You need to go to more dinners. But look, things have evolved a lot in the last few years around the world of cryptocurrency. Now, we had a leadership conversation with Ed today, and what we are doing today is very different, and the landscape of cryptocurrency will be very different in a very short period of time. Things are going to change very quickly legislatively in cryptocurrency. Now, who's got friends that have got cryptocurrency that aren't on the Dacxi platform? I would be very concerned about the platforms that they hold their cryptocurrency on. Globally, legislators are looking at cryptocurrency very, very seriously. And they are going to put in legislation which allows you, the consumer, the customer, to be protected at much higher levels. And I'm very proud to say that my conversations with Mr. Ed Ludbrook 3 years ago, and what he told me then is becoming more and more real to cryptocurrency. The company that you store your cryptocurrency on has to make sure that it fits into legislative changes, and most will not be able to. But Dacxi has been set up to fit into that legislative framework for the world. So to talk a bit about Dacxi Global, I'm going to invite Mr. Ed Ludbrook up to share his wisdom, his vision about what's happening with cryptocurrency and the Dacxi platform. We've got Lowe in the crowd as well. Lowe's our new General Manager, CEO. He's my best mate, the guy that I go to when I want to work out what strategies we need to do to help you, help your family, friends get involved with crypto. And my second best mate, third best up, Fred, is Chris Tyson. Chris is an expert in wealth management and wealth creation, and I'm very, very happy to have him as part of the Dacxi admin team as well. So welcome up, Ed. I'll let you come up and share some wisdom.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Come on, I came all the way from New Zealand. You have no idea how I feel tonight. You have absolutely no idea. For 3.5 years, I have had people saying, "Oh, you'll never list that Dacxi coin. It's all bull." And to see today, even though we just started on the little exchange, we have already received our first haters apology. Because I turned around and I said, "You are so wrong when we list. I expect a full apology." And this guy who wrote some very negative things about us, I thought, bugger you, I'm going to answer all your questions. I'm going to give you the facts. I'm going to give you the research. And he said, "If you can do that, I will apologise." So we sent him the thing and he said, "I'm sorry, bravo, well done, Dacxi." Yeah, baby! So what I want to do is keep it pretty light. I'm really, I want to talk about what's happening at the moment. I want to talk about where things are going. I want you to leave here with a level of confidence and excitement based on reality, okay? Based on not a lot of the fluff that we see in the crypto space, but just based on the reality of the marketplace today, so you can understand confidently why you are literally in the right place at the right time. Yeah? That's what I want to hear. So look, first thing, I just want to give a real shout out of thank you and congratulations to, there are lots of people here who believed me, believe Squid, believe other people I can see, you know, people like Dee and others who have for a while been telling you that this market is going to get better, to trust that what we're doing, that this market is going to develop. And I have a really big shout out to those guys, not me, but for other guys, this is Brownie and others. People, you guys have listened to what these guys have said. And for me, you know, when you imagine that I've sort of helped them with a message, they've done their own research, but because of that, many of you have come into our world, and when you look at your balances, when you look at the future, you're starting to get excited, right? Yeah? You're starting to get excited because for us, I'll tell you a little, people ask about my history, okay? I'm a New Zealander. At 17 years old, the New Zealand Army sent me to the Royal Military College Duntroon in Canberra. I survived 4 years in Canberra, okay, which is getting a bit cold this time of the year. I spent 4 years there, then 6 months in the back blocks of Sydney, learning how to be an officer in the engineers. And the point is that I learned about Australians. And most people thought I was Australian, my best mates are Australian, my brother and sister are Australians. So I have a real deep appreciation of this country, the people. I also understand how to wind you up, because there was only a couple of Kiwis and a whole lot of Australians, so I learned to take the piss out of you guys really easily. I also believe that you guys are a race of people, they're like Kiwis, that you just need to hear the truth, right? Yeah? So I feel, so for us, if you're any military people who are here, you know that the most important thing is integrity. Okay? Because the one thing it was guaranteed to get you kicked out of Duntroon. So a mate of mine didn't tell the truth 2 weeks before leaving. He spent 4 years, worked his ass off, but he was considered to have lost his integrity and he got thrown out. They said you couldn't be an army officer if you do that. So for me, it's been hard for 3.5 years in this business because people have struggled to believe what we're saying. We've not been perceived as trustworthy, yet we've always strived to be that organisation that you can trust. Because we were different. We do have a different view of this marketplace. We didn't want to be the sort of hyper crypto exchanges that you see around the place. We believe that this market will evolve. And the market will evolve whereby the focus is not on trading, it's not on gambling. When people say to me, oh yeah, you know, make sure that people only put in enough money that they can afford to lose. And they then smile at me as if they are so wise. And I always say, what a stupid thing to say. And the reason why I say that is that's the sort of advice you give to someone when they're going to a casino. Would you agree? It's not the sort of advice you give to people if they look at this as an asset class that they should learn about, that they should work with an organisation that has a conservative yet intelligent attitude to the marketplace, which is why we're the guys who pioneered a portfolio approach to crypto. Everyone else says, oh, buy Bitcoin, and that's not smart. It's not smart in any asset class. Would you agree? You know, so for us, we've always done that. We've always focused on education. We probably do more education as a company compared to the number of clients or customers that we have of any company in the world. In fact, I would reckon that we probably do more education than any other crypto company in the world when you add the UK and stuff. And we do that because people need it. Correct?
Yeah.
They need it. They need to see people face to face. I can imagine if crypto companies looked around and saw this crowd, they would be amazed. Would you agree with me? Yeah, they wouldn't believe that so many people would be in a room talking about crypto, getting excited about it, but also with this idea of getting educated. So, for me, I'm very thankful. Okay? And I really appreciate the guys who have come on this journey with us. Some of you remember 2 years ago when everyone went, nah, crypto, it would have you drop that. It'll never work. And now we're in a place whereby finally the marketplace, all the big boys have joined like we said they would. The market has changed, the attitude has changed like we said it would. I've had more people ask me about crypto in the last 4 to 6 weeks than in the last 4 to 6 years. Friends, family, colleagues just saying, Ed, are you still in that crypto thing? Yeah. And they go, can I have a coffee? Like a year ago, I would have had to drag them along. Been pointless. So what that means, guys, is that means that we are at a point of time which has proven that this next step is literally the opportunity for everyone. Do you understand? And it doesn't make any difference if you're literally some guy, some friend has dragged you along tonight to listen to some people about some Bitcoin thingy. Alright? If that's you, kiss your friend. Okay? Because if you get what I'm going to say, what the guys are going to follow me are going to say, all you have to understand that you are seeing the emergence of the next big thing. And it's not just Bitcoin. Do you understand that? At the moment, you're seeing this whole evolution of an asset class. I was lucky. I was there at the start of the dot-com boom. I listed 2 companies in London in the 90s in the dot-com boom. One of them is worth $2 billion today. Okay, I have seen this before. I've seen this in other markets. I remember when I took Tony Robbins to Europe as his agent in the early 90s, everyone telling me, no one is ever going to listen to Tony Robbins. Do you understand? I have seen this before, actually many, many times. And that's why, for me, I've had the confidence to know that where we're going is right. But I need you to understand a couple of things, right? So you ready? I need you to understand a couple of things. Number one is this market will have 2 stages. This first stage is what's called the cryptocurrency stage. We had a little bit of a blip in 2017, and now we're in the big one, okay? But what you're seeing now is only we're maybe 10%, 20% into the growth. Do you understand that? And this market over the next couple of years should be very, very strong, not because of you, all right? Not even because of all the Americans, it's because of all the Asians. Crypto is an Asian thing. Do you understand that? I don't give a damn what the American government says. I'm more interested in what's happening in China, Korea, Japan, Indonesia, Vietnam, Malaysia, Thailand, India. That's where the real money and power is for this technology, and it's happening over the next couple of years. So do you understand that? So as far as the crypto market, it is the best time to get involved right now. Because it's got over that period, which was a little bit, is it going to happen? It's going to happen now, right? And when people turn around to me and say, Edwin, do you think it's going to happen? I give them what I call the hug, which is like, really? Oh. Really? You don't understand what's happening? Oh. You must admit, does it feel very embarrassing that you don't understand what's happening? Okay? Don't feel bad, feel sorry for them. So, the next thing I want you to understand is the next wave, which is the tokenization. The tokenization of property, the tokenization of shares, the tokenization of different assets will probably be 10 times the size of this currency boom. Do you all understand that? So what that means is that this, where you're seeing now in 2021, is still going to be growing in 2030. Do you all understand that? Hello? And the reason why that's important is for you to appreciate that this is a long-term thing, and therefore you'll understand the third thing, which is that this is a wealth business. It's not a gambling business. It's not a trading business unless you're really good at that. It's a wealth business that you will be in these currencies today. And sometime you may change out of those into some more, and then you'll go into some more tokens, and by the end of 2030 you'll sit there with this massive portfolio which you have built, and you will have the freedom, the security, the prosperity, the sort of lifestyle that you were hoping because you were smart enough to build wealth in this asset class. Does that make sense to you? Yeah? Okay, so if you understand that, then you'll understand what we're doing. You'll understand why we talk about wealth and regulation and why we focus on education, because we're not looking for you to put in a few $100. Do you understand? We want you to come on a journey with us. We want you to see what we're doing and understand that it will evolve over time. And therefore, when you understand that, you'll understand that we're now going into a new evolution of the business where our focus is to ensure that Australia, as a business, takes advantage of this incredible opportunity. And for me, what that means is that I've got to make sure, for you, that you have a management team focused on Australia with the skills and experience that are able to do that. And then, so after a very long search with literally hundreds of CVs, I think I've found the two guys that do that. Okay? And I'll let these guys, Ian Lowe, okay, and Chris Tyson, I'll let them tell their stories and explain why they can see that they can help evolve the business as it is today into Australia's market leader in the wealth space in Australia. Is that clear? Okay? Because this will be a $100 billion sector, and at the moment we are the best positioned company in Australia, and it's not an accident. I saw it 4 years ago. We're doing the same in the UK, all right? And we're going to then turn around with these guys in charge, with the UK team that some of you know, with Catherine and Annie and Gareth, what they're doing in the UK, where they're doing amazing results. With that strength, it will release me to then be able to take this Dacxi platform and license it in 100 countries around the world. Got it? So you won't, it's a joy to be here, honestly. The weather's nicer here than New Zealand, okay? Trust me, in Queensland it's like, oh, thankfully, some sun, all right? But also for me, I want you guys to help these guys. I want you guys to help these guys help you and turn Dacxi into the leader of the crypto wealth sector in Australia, okay? Because that will power what we're doing, which is the next stage. So for me, I'm going to take this and I'm going to put Dacxi Brazil, Dacxi Mexico, Dacxi Vietnam, Dacxi Poland, Dacxi Egypt, Dacxi Canada, and we're going to put those all across the world, and we're going to tie them all together on one technology platform, okay? One platform. But they will be independent. Do you understand that? Because they have to be independent, because they have to be regulated. The government must control what we're doing. It's a terrible thing to say, okay? but it's the only way you create the trust that the mass of people need for us to be able to operate effectively, okay? And so that's the big job over the next 12 months for me, okay? And then what I'm going to do is, on top of that, we're going to launch a blockchain-based system that will literally change how innovation is run in the world. Because I have a view that there's just as many smart, innovative, talented people in the Gold Coast and Queensland than there are in central Melbourne. Okay? That's what I have a view. I have a view that there's just as many smart, talented people per head of population in every bloody country in the world. And the only problem, and the reason why we haven't seen that revolution, is there's never been this technology to be able to do that again. And by creating this platform, what will happen is this. And someone asked me to give an example, okay? What will happen is this. Imagine, I always use a dental thing, right? So imagine there's a smart dentist, group of dentists, some here down in Broadbeach, all right? And they've got a cool idea and they think that it can go around the world and they're looking for money, okay? Now they have an option. If they talk to venture capitalists, they may get some money, but what do they lose? What do they lose? They lose control because the venture capitalists are famous for getting their money and taking them on a direction. So they get the money, but they lose control, one testicle, probably everything else, all right? Because these people control them. Or they could do crowdfunding, but the crowdfunding is amazing, so they can raise money from the crowd. Do you understand that? But the problem with that is that if you're based in Broadbeach, Gold Coast, you go to, crowdfunding organisation that's people in Sydney, they don't care about you, right? And you are only raising money literally from Australia. But with this technology, you'll be able to launch it all across the world. Do you understand that? And that may not mean something, but what we'll do in Dacxi is that this is a dental idea. We'll show it to all the dentists in the world. So Mexican dentists will have a look at that, and they won't understand about you, but they'll understand dental because teeth are same everywhere else, right? And they'll go, hey, that's a good idea. And so they go, okay, how do I send money? I can send it through Dacxi, $2,000, convert that into Dacxi coin, send it around the world, arrives in Brisbane, money coming in from Mexico, from Canada, from Poland, from Japan, from Africa, because teeth are teeth are teeth. Do you understand? So instead of them raising $1 million, suddenly now they're able to raise $4 million, and because it's crowdfunding, who's in charge? What's that? They are. And if you've ever been an entrepreneur, the idea of being in charge and not having someone own your dream is huge. And we'll do that because we have a system based on a blockchain, which is based on a coin called Dacxi coin. But as a company, we are not Dacxi coin, we are Dacxi. And the coin is just how we make that happen. Do you understand? And it's not something of fluff. It is based on a real model that I designed when I went to the world's first token summit, okay, based on Ethereum in May in New York in 2017. And I saw it and I went, this is going to be crowdfunding because we can tokenize those shares, we can solve the problem of crowdfunding and change the world. Would you agree? If we can create that, we will change the world, and more importantly for some of you, it means that we as an organisation will be able to do something that other companies that have this blockchain coins cannot do. We will have the technology and we will have the marketing organisation to be able to drive the opportunities to drive the system. And that is the difference between us and nearly every other coin in the world, which is why when you hear me talk about what's the potential of the Dacxi coin, I'm telling you that our story is good enough to not just be top 100, not just be top 50. Our story is good enough to be top 20, top 10. Because we're not trying to be Facebook, we're trying to be LinkedIn. You understand the difference? We're looking to dominate a niche, and we've been doing that for literally nearly 4 years. And whether you like it or not, you've got lucky, all right? But what I need you to do is to understand the strategy, guys. That's why it was called the vision. You've got to understand that our coin is based on a proper story because it's use, okay? And for us to get it to have the value, what it means is that you've got to have the liquidity from the exchanges. So when people talk to me about what's the potential on the Dacxi coin, all right? I know its potential. I would just explain it to you, all right? But for it to have the liquidity, you've got to get on the tier 1 exchanges. And there's only like 5 or 6 of them. And to get on tier 1, you have to get on tier 2. And not just one tier 2, you've got to get on at least 3. Okay? And to get on tier 2 exchanges, you have to list on a tier 3 exchange. And everyone said we couldn't do it. And on the way here, I saw the picture that I saw on the exchange that we finally I can see that we got on our tier 3 exchange. And it's tiny. And I know it's tiny, okay? It's meant to be. But for us, it's an important step. And because we do that, we then can look at the tier 2s. We have agreement with 4 tier 2s, okay? 4 tier 2s, and in this period of June to August, the plan is to go on those tier 2s. But even going on those 2 tiers aren't enough. We actually have to communicate, build our story, our responsibilities with the communities, the trading communities on those exchanges, so they understand what they're doing, what we're doing. They're excited about what we're doing. They appreciate that, like, there are only really Binance Coin has the same story that we do, but we're in a different niche. So we have enormous potential for that marketplace. And if we create that interest, we will be on a tier 1 or a range of tier 1s. And if we're on tier 1s, damn. Okay? If you know anything about crypto, listen to the people do. When you're on there, it's like listing on, it's the difference between listing on the, you know, on the Ipswich Stock Exchange versus the NASDAQ. Do you understand the difference? It's the difference between going out to a group of 100,000 traders or going out to 100 million traders. Do you understand? It's how coins, and you'll notice them, they go like this and then they go bang. And it's not just because they're a hot, interesting story, it's because organisations like that, we will have educated them on what we're doing, why we're doing it, and why we have a future. So people ask me if I should look to sell at tier 3, and if you do, you're an idiot. I'm not allowed to say that, so of course I did not say that you would be an idiot. All right? Because I'm not going to possibly say that. But your friend has just called you that if you do it. And I hope someone slaps you because you need to wake up. Even tier 2, please understand, tier 2, we're building our liquidity. But because of our potential, the potential growth of our coin from where we are today to where it could and should be is enormous. So if you bail out there, you deserve a slap. And if your friend is talking about it, give me a call. We'll send someone around to give him a slap or her a slap. So at least you have a vision that takes you out for at least 6 months. The smart people will realise that next year is the thing, because we will have launched platforms, we will have told the market about blockchain-based things. They will see regional offices out of Dubai and Brazil and Singapore, and they will go, holy crap, look at what these guys are doing. Not just bullshit talk, real business. At the moment, we have 34 staff and are in the process of hiring another 24. All I do is grow the business. Our revenues grew by 1,700% in the first quarter of this year versus the year before. Do you understand? Which other organisation has this? We're just getting started, and already we can sell out a whole room like this. So squids running around going, oh my God, we don't have enough pizzas. Do you understand? For me, it's been a long journey, but in reality, it's just the start, okay? But I need you to be smart enough to have the vision. Like when it came to the Vault, so the Vault that we launched yesterday, I had a limit on how many coins we would have. Which got busted in an hour, got full in a few hours, and I'm getting a call early in the morning going, Edward, they busted the upper limit, what do we do? And I just said, well, keep going. Now, some of you that have big coins that have been around for a while, you shouldn't be putting your coins away. You should be leaving it, because I'm going to put a limit on it soon. Do you understand? You should just trust that what we're doing. Because when we achieve, it's just, you've got a bigger boat than me, who cares, all right? It's all the other people who don't really know enough about it. We need those guys to put the coins away, to give us the breathing space so they don't panic if the price goes down or up or whatever. They just need to understand that we're playing for a much bigger thing. Do you understand? It's like I always talk about it, like you don't want to be that person who sold Bitcoin at $3,000, right? I bought it at $1,000 and then I sold it $3,000. Yay! And all your friends go, oh, poor. Must make you sick every time you see the price, right? Would you agree? And it's simply because you didn't have the vision, you didn't have the confidence, your friends, you didn't talk to your friends and say, should I do it? And your friends aren't smart enough to turn around and say, don't do it. Okay? You've got to give us time to build the business and communicate the business and to get on the exchanges that are large enough that gets those people to understand and be excited about what we're doing. Got it?
Yes.
You got it? Sure. Thank you for coming. Okay. For me, it's like a joy. But now it's time for me to step back from Australia, okay, and to hand over this. And so, as I said, when I was looking at what do we do for the next stage. We've had the first stage, which is all about vision and making sure what we're doing. The next stage is we've got to build Australia's #1 crypto wealth company. Correct? That's what we have to do. Now, to do that, you need to have a really, really talented team at the top. And I think I've found, as I said, I've found two amazing guys. They're both enormously talented. They've only spent a few weeks in the business, so don't be too nasty to them. But I hope that you will get to meet them, and I really want them to come up and tell their story. So what I want you to do is to give a massive, massive Gold Coast round of applause for the guy that I'm very confident is going to take Dacxi to the scale in Australia that people are really proud that everyone knows about it, because they think it's just the most trusted, most professional, smartest organisation in the wealth market in Australia. And I really, having got to know him over the last few weeks, I think this guy is amazingly talented and is going to do a fantastic job for you, all right? For you, he's going to do amazing, but he needs to hear from you, he needs to work from you. So I want you to all give him a huge round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chief Executive Officer of Dacxi Australia is here, Lowe.
Thanks, Ed. Wow, it's great to be here, full room. I'm not going to take too much of your time, you'll be pleased to know. I just want to share a couple of things with you. First of all, I'm delighted to be a part of the Dacxi organisation. I feel very lucky to have had the opportunity, and I thought what I'd do is just share a little bit about my background and why I'm here, why I saw this as a fabulous opportunity. So I've spent pretty much the last 25 or so years building, growing technology companies. I've done this exclusively for Australian-based global technology companies. And more recently, over the last 12 or so years, I've been the CEO of, or built and then listed an Australian-based technology company on the Australian Stock Exchange. And it's worth sharing with you how that business came about, because I see incredible parallels to where we are today as it relates to the emergence of digital currency and its various manifestations, and the opportunity for Dacxi to participate. So it was a little over 12 years ago, a couple of colleagues and I, ex-colleagues and I, decided that this explosion of digital media, the digitisation of media, so no longer consuming our news and our entertainment through newspapers, but consuming them through a digital device. We decided that the disruption we were seeing in the media space through the emergence of this very exciting new digital technology, digital media, really there was a huge opportunity that was created as a result of that. And the opportunity was to build a marketplace, an online marketplace, where large buyers and large sellers of digital media advertising could transact with each other in real time, rapidly discover opportunities to buy and sell advertising, and transact with each other in a legally binding fashion in real time, from any market in the world to any market in the world. And so what started out as a bit of a crazy idea became a blueprint, became the first version of a product, and several years later we'd grown that business from 3 people to 150 people. We'd gone from 1 customer to over 1,000 customers. We'd grown from 1 country to 27 countries, and we took the business to a very successful listing on the Australian Stock Exchange. And it was an incredible journey. I learned lots about how the world works, about people, learned a little bit about myself along the way. It was a fantastic experience. And so if we think of it in the simplest possible terms, the digitisation of communications, the digitisation of transactions, the digitisation of media, the digitisation of money. I can tell you that I was trading crypto before I joined Dacxi. With or without this company, the digitisation of currency in its various forms is completely and absolutely inevitable. And I have seen this type of disruption, structural change on a global scale, driven by innovative digital technology. I've seen it happen before. And so that's why I'm excited to be part of the Dacxi opportunity, is because I want to participate. There is going to be unprecedented value creation in this space, many times larger than I saw in digital media. And I think one of the things that's worth sharing with you is that in the digital media experience, all of the organisations that were exposed to the emergence of this very disruptive digital technology really fell into one of 3 categories. The first category was, an established business disrupted by digital media technology, and they found a way to adapt and survive in the new world. They were good enough to do that. And the second category were companies that have an existing business and they didn't find a way to adapt in the new world. And they either died completely or they destroyed enormous amounts of shareholder value in the process. But there's a third category that's the most important category. And these are the companies that were born because of the digital revolution. They were created because of it. They were born into it. And so if I look at that world today, the largest companies on this planet, Google, Facebook, Amazon, organisations that were born because of the digital revolution. And so they were best positioned to participate in the value creation. And that is the way that I see the Dacxi business today. It's an organisation that was born into this disruptive digital technology and has a phenomenal opportunity to participate in the value that creates. I was trading crypto before I came across Dacxi, and when I first looked under the hood of the business, and I've only been with the company now for less than 3 weeks, but I've had a chance to validate some of the things that I had observed. And there's some really very important attributes to this business that I look at when I think about how we grow the company. You know, what are the constituent assets? What are the underlying assets of this business that we can build a really strong foundation on? And it's a really, really good list, so I'll just quickly go through it. The first thing that we look at when we look at growing a business is what is the size of the market opportunity? Right? If we had 100% market share, what would that look like? Is another way to ask that question. Now the truth is it's such a big number we don't really know because the market is still developing. And as the Americans might say, we're really still in the first or the second inning of a 9-inning game. We're still in the early stages of the adoption curve. So the growth that lies ahead is phenomenal, but I can quickly convince myself that the size of the market opportunity is fundamentally enormous. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars. Okay, so that's a big tip. We're operating in a market that has a big opportunity. Second thing is, we have a singular understanding of our vision and our purpose. You'd be amazed how many companies are created by accident. Some of them are even successful sometimes by accident. But invariably, the organisations that win are the organisations that understand why they exist. They understand the problem that they exist to solve. And they have purpose around that vision. And this is a business that has a singular, well understood, easily articulated vision and purpose. So that's very important, big tip. The next thing you look at in the technology space is how much control you have over your own future as it relates to the technology itself. So this is an organisation that has invested enormously in building out its own technology. We haven't outsourced it to another company, we didn't partner with somebody to do it, we didn't hire a bunch of contractors who can walk away with the code. We own our tech, which means that we decide how it evolves. We decide how that technology fits the business needs, not the other way around. Okay, so we are in control of our future as it relates to what our technology does now and in the future. Incredibly important. So that's another big tip. Another really important point is that the business is well capitalised. And what that means is that we can fund a marketing organisation. This is so important. It's not just about getting the message out there, it touches on so many other aspects of the business. But we can be a professional marketing outfit. Okay? And I see that opportunity as incredibly complementary to the community that we already have, many of which are are here in this room tonight. And I'm sure you'd agree that there are lots of things we're doing well as it relates to supporting that community. I'm already hearing about the things that we can do better, and I'm already hearing about the gaps that we need to close, things that we're not doing. So there's enormous room for improvement. So when I think about all of these things, I think about an organisation that is participating in an unprecedented market opportunity. We have singular purpose and vision. We're in control of our own technology. We have a professional marketing organisation through which to take the best of what we do and build on it and close the gaps where the gaps exist. So that's why I joined the organisation, is that I see a huge opportunity to be part of this value creation and to participate in that. And having done that once before, I've learned a few things along the way, and I'm looking forward to bringing that experience into the Dacxi business. Ed talked a little bit about we need to position ourselves relentlessly and remember that we are, by definition, in the wealth business. And so this means a whole bunch of things. It means we don't take a short-term view. It means we don't run to the shiniest, latest thing necessarily. It means that we take a more conservative view. And in many ways, the lack of conservatism in some pockets of this industry is in itself our opportunity, is to differentiate against that. We care about the people in our community. We share success with them just as they share success with us. We are totally aligned with them. These are all the attributes of a company that is much more focused on wealth and the long-term play than anything else. And so that gives me great comfort as it relates to how we go about building the business over the medium to long term. One final thing I want to share with you, and I want to introduce Chris Tyson, who started just a couple of weeks ahead of me and is our head of sales for Australia and New Zealand. Because I think Ed had the foresight to appreciate that we needed people in the business who come specifically from the wealth industry. They understand the language, they understand the constructs, they understand all the participants in that ecosystem. And so we're really, really fortunate, and I've had the good fortune to work with Chris over the last few weeks that we've been in the business together, and really looking forward to the future. Chris Tyson is head of sales for Australia and New Zealand. I'll let him share his background from the wealth industry, but I just want you to give him a big Gold Coast welcome to the stage.
Well, you can see why I'm third up. I can't even attach a microphone to my shirt. Shocking. Firstly, thank you all for coming out. This is amazing. It's blowing us away. Squid's done it again. Just awesome to see everyone here tonight. Just to reflect on a few different things. I mean, Ed spoke about things like trust and integrity. I think for me, those are words that resonate with me and have done for my life. I guess I'll give you a little bit of background about who I am, so I'll talk about work instead. But just so you know a little bit about me, I'm 52, and that probably doesn't mean too much. You guys are much younger than I am. Yesterday in Brisbane, we averaged the room at about 60, probably 42 here today, but 52. I don't know what she was thinking, but I got married over 30 years ago. And she still lets me keep the key to the house. I've got 2 beautiful daughters, and in September I'll be a grandparent for the first time. That's me, right? I've had, well, again, it's an interesting career within banking the last 30 years. In the 90s I was a currency trader, so I've seen interesting financial markets, the ups and downs of sorry buddy. always telling him what to do. I've seen ups and downs in financial markets. So when I look at the cryptocurrency market and all that goes with it, it doesn't surprise me where we're at. And for all of you, I'm very excited. And I'll be very honest, about 6 months ago when I had the opportunity to take a break, my wife and I had a 30-year anniversary, spent some time away with the kids. I wanted to try and do something where I could maybe continue to add some value and have the opportunity of working with people, because I love working with people. And at the same time, I was really looking for work, November, December, cryptocurrency market went. And all the new feeds I was getting from a whole heap of different things, even the newspapers like the AFR and the like, talk to me about cryptocurrency. So I did some research. And I guess I was fortunate in January to find that Dacxi were looking for someone to join their business. And I had lots of conversations, and again, I didn't know why me. On reflection though, I can absolutely understand why. The last 20 years I've worked in wealth management, and for those who don't really know wealth management, I work at AMP and Westpac, don't hold it against me, PT Financial Group. And again, they've got some really good things, but they've also got some problems. And I think today I can see clearer than ever before, we have a real opportunity to help all Australians understand this new asset class. And I call it a new asset class. For some people that don't know what that means, the average super fund, subvention fund of $700,000 would be invested in a whole lot of different asset classes, whether it be Australian shares, international shares, fixed interest. Cryptocurrencies is an asset class that we now know has to be taken seriously. And financial planners and accountants can't advise on it, I get that. But it's up to us, particularly for me, to learn from you about what you know, and for us to help you talk to more people about why cryptocurrency should be part of their portfolio. As Ed said, we don't want to turn away the people who only want to put $100 because it's important that's maybe all that they feel comfortable. But the reality is we know that people should feel comfortable about their wealth prosperity and thinking long term with regards to their investments. We have a really unique opportunity to talk to people, and I guess that's where I'm here to firstly listen to all your stories about what you know. I am now 5 weeks in, so I know twice as much of what Ian does. But I absolutely know nothing of what you know, so I'm really excited for you to share your stories with me, and also to learn about what I can do to help provide, whether it be learning information or news stories, or we talked about webinars today, things that are going to help you talk to more people about what it is we do, and also to help you understand, re-educate yourself on the things that I know when it comes to supporting people into retirement. It's a really important thing, and something that I've known that I've been proud of my clients before about how they help everyday Australians. I know you guys have already done it, which is wonderful, but I think we can just do it to a lot more people. And again, if I'm completely honest, the call to action tonight is for you to please reach out to me, have a chat. I did make it, again, another joke about one of my other colleagues, Lawson, in the office, the compliance guy. I think it was the second week in, I gave someone my email address and my phone number. They said, why do you want to give out your phone number? I'll call you. Exactly. I want you to call. I want you to find out who I am. I want you to let me know everything that you know. Because unless I know, then I can't help you with your own further learning, but also to providing support so you can talk to more people. So really that's about it from me. I'm here for you. I'm bloody excited, if I'm completely honest. I'm a novice and I'm conservative. Sorry. As an investor, I'm a nervous conservative investor. So I'm going to need your support to change all my money into Bitcoin. Squid reckons I should start at 100%, just go from there. I'm learning. The other thing I learned about Squid today is I am the favourite, even though they said I was number 3 on the podium. I'm not really. He let me drive his car today, so I'm definitely number 1. He does me, he just didn't want to let Ed or Ian down. Again, reach out, it's important, you know, and I'd love to talk to all of you. It's fantastic, I've met some of you a couple of times now. And again, if I can, you know, I've said to someone, I'm going to be here 5+ years, I reckon I'll be here a lot longer if, you know, you let me. But again, if we can all win together, how good would it be? Thank you, Steve.
Who enjoyed those 3 great people in management for Dacxi? I'm very, very, very blessed that these guys have come into the Dacxi fold. They have a very big learning curve to catch up to what I know what you guys need and what I know what the world needs. It's my role as a customer of Dacxi, and I take this responsibility very seriously, is to help you talk to your friends. I will do anything I can to help your friends get involved with cryptocurrency, and I think you believe that. Who believes that? If you think I can do something better, I want to know about it. If you think I can do something more effective to help you develop knowledge and belief in cryptocurrency, I want you to tell me. I don't hide anywhere. I'm very, very open on all the media channels, on Facebook, phone calls. I want to do stuff better so you can leverage my confidence. When we talk to a banker when he says put in, you know, diverse portfolios 2%, and then there's me up here that just took out all the equity out of my house and dumped it into crypto because the equity wasn't going anywhere, but crypto was going where? It's going up. It was going up. It is going up. And that equity is probably going to be 10 times the house value in 5 to 6 years' time. Do you think my house would be 5 to 6 more times valuable in 5 years' time? But now it will be, because I just used the 3 extra bedrooms I wasn't using in equity and put that into crypto. That's me. It's my risk profile. Because I'm a lot more confident in crypto than other people, because I talk what I do. I share what I do. And I want you to have my problem. Actually, I want you to have my accountant's problem, to be honest. And poor guy, I would not want to be my accountant. And I don't even sell crypto yet. When I start selling crypto, you probably have to get 2 accountants just to look after what I'm doing, because I do things at 100%. You know, I don't have to talk to anyone about cryptocurrency. I just love it that much that I can't stop talking about it. I wake up reading it, and I go to bed thinking about it. Because it's so exciting to know that I've helped a couple of you guys so far realise some small dreams. More of you realise some big dreams, but most importantly, I've got a large number of people that now have 7 figures in cryptocurrency sitting in their bank accounts, and they don't want to spend it on a house. But they got involved with crypto to buy a house, but now they've got the money to buy a house, and they don't want to buy a house. Because they know the value of what they own now is dramatically more than bricks and mortar. Houses need maintenance, paint. You know, get the landlord to fix that stuff up. Get your crypto working for you. So look, the Gold Coast has been, I call the Gold Coast my home now. I love the Gold Coast. I think, you know, I go up to North Queensland and see my kids. But if my kids could come down here, I'll be living here for sure with you guys. I align with how you think, do and feel and act dramatically more than pretty much anyone else on the planet. So I do love the Gold Coast. Right? Except maybe another month and a half time will be too cold for me and I'll start whinging, but we won't go there. But what I really want to do is make Marco sweat a bit more in the kitchen. That's what I really want to hear. Who thinks the organisation of tonight was pretty good? Yeah. So look, Marco, I talked to him before, he's really happy with the way everything went. People got their food fast, everything went really well. So what I'd love to do is get some of your friends and family and people that have said this is not going to happen to come to another one. So who would be interested in doing that? And we can fit 300 people in here. That's max for a meal. I personally want to see 5,000 to 6,000 people at an event like this, and I do my Mr. Squiggle stuff on a whiteboard. Call me Squid, all right? I want to do the whiteboard stuff for those guys, so they understand exactly what the hell's going on with cryptocurrency in a way that they will understand it and get involved. It's great to have you invite your family and friends to one of my presentations, and they walk out and they go, I don't know what that was all about, but I'm in. And then they go, I'm going to put in 20k, because 20k is wealth money. I want you to lay in bed at night thinking, oh, this is fantastic. I've got some crypto, it's going up, the future's bright, we're all going to do well out of this, we're helping other people do well. The last thing I want anyone to do is to go to bed home and not worry about their money. I don't worry about my money in any bank in Australia at all. I don't have any money in the bank, to be honest. I don't worry about banking systems, doing what banking systems do. That system is really not part of my future. And if you understand crypto, it's not part of your future either. If you understand wealth creation, what Ed has visioned 3.5 years ago and what Ian and Chris are going to implement within Australia is where you are going to develop some really long-term wealth in cryptocurrency. Which gives me the energy and the excitement to come out and do what I'm not comfortable doing, which is talk to you guys. Can you believe that? So look, over the next week or so, I'm going to work out my schedule. You know, I'm a pretty busy guy all over, but I want to come back here. Would you prefer if I just do a Dacxi dinner like this, but more people, or just come and sit down and listen? Who wants a dinner? We're just going to invite people just to watch me scribble on a whiteboard and not have dinner. I like dinner, so we're going to do dinner. Thanks for that. So I'm going to organise some events here on a Wednesday night, according to Marco, but it's the best night for him, because I like to support the venues. We'll get some people along, have a beer or two or a wine or two, have a chat, talk about cryptocurrency and help people understand that what they're doing is shrinking. What they're doing is not moving into the future. The cryptocurrency world is evolving very, very quickly. And I want you to have my accountant's problems. And the only way you're going to get that is by learning more about crypto, understanding where the growth of crypto is coming from, and it's not from Bitcoin. That's temporary. Currency cryptos are so small. Tokenized cryptos has got a massive amount of growth potential. Equity funding in that area is where we are going to make true wealth into the future, and I'm very glad that I'm on the journey with you, helping you understand crypto so that you guys can generate generational wealth. Who wants to give some money to their kids when they're not here anymore? Who wants to give money to their grandchildren when they're not here anymore? You can do that in the next 5 to 10 years. Make enough money that your kids don't run out of money, your grandchildren don't run out of money. We are at a very critical time in humanity right now that cryptocurrency is booming, and Ed's vision is becoming very real to the world, and the government's going to love it, the big institutions are going to love it, and you're going to love it as well. So thank you very much for coming. I look forward to catching you at another event very soon.